Unfortunately for MLB and for fans of the game, Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the biggest stars in the game, is out for the season with a torn ACL. It's a real shame as a fan of baseball, as the reigning MVP in the National League is now set to miss the remainder of the season because of this injury. The Braves, however, they want to keep pace with Philadelphia in the NL East. The Braves are one of the few teams that have really set themselves out of the pack early on in the season, and they'll need to continue getting quality outfield play. While Acuna was not hitting as good as he did last season when he won the MVP award, he was still hitting above average in most of his numbers, if you will. With the Braves rolling a Jared Kelenic, Adam Duvall platoon in left field, and Michael Harris in center, the Braves probably don't want to run the risk of rolling Marcell Ozuna in the outfield. So, with that being said, let's try to find the Braves a new outfielder. So let's talk about Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham signed with the White Sox after spring training early on in the regular season, and now he is everyday playing in their lineup. White Sox are not going anywhere this year. We know this. We've known this for months. We've seen it with our own eyes. Now, how is Tommy Pham doing? Currently, as of the writing of this script, Pham is hitting 315 with a 361 on base, 459 slugging, 820 OPS. He has 3 homers and 12 RBIs so far in the season, striking out 19% of the time while walking 6% of the time. Now, is Tommy Pham a right fielder? If you need him to be. Is he primarily a left fielder? Yes, but he's been playing all 3 outfield positions for the White Sox this season, so he could definitely be someone that the Braves could use. And he's also somewhat of a spark plug in your locker room. He's going to get your team who's going to be playing hard, as we saw in some of his other stops along the way. Now, what do I have the White Sox receiving? In this trade, I have the White Sox receiving Dylan Dodd, who is the number 16 prospect for Atlanta. He pitched for the Braves in 2023. He's been at AAA this year. In 10 games, he's 2-5 with a 4.42 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, 45 strikeouts to 16 walks. Now, he's almost like a lefty Mike Soroka, if you will. He's not going to wow you with velocity. He's going to be averaging 94, 93, but he's got solid command and he's got above average breaking stuff, so he could definitely be a piece for the White Sox, much like Jared Schuster is at the moment. What about a little Harrison Bader to the Atlanta Braves? Now, I know the Mets and the Braves don't usually make trades. I'm not clueless like that, but this might be an exception. Now, let's talk about Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader he's been this season. I mean, he has a 279 average at the moment with a 329 on base, 361 slugging, OPS is 690. Nice. He's got 2 home runs, 16 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases. Now, he's not going to be like that superstar that you want to get on your team. He's an above average center fielder with elite defense, as you can see on screen. He's currently sitting at 4 outs above average this season. He's doing exactly what the Mets wanted to do when they signed him to a 1-year deal, so they're probably going to look to trade him. What could they get in return, though, is the real question, because of his $10.5 million contract. Well, in this trade, I have the Mets receiving right-hander Adam Meyer, who is the number 17 prospect in the Brave system. Now he's an A-ball. In 8 starts, he's 2-2 with a 3.86 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, 35 strikeouts against 6 walks, which is good. It's incredible. So a long-term pitching prospect could be what would be a good deal for the Mets, sending off an elite center fielder defensively with a league average bat on an expiring contract. What about an Eddie Rosario reunion for the Atlanta Braves, huh? I think I can do a Photoshop. There we go. So, what about Eddie Rosario returning to the Atlanta Braves? Pretty interesting reunion idea. So, here's the deal. Rosario is hitting 172 with a 228 on base, 366 slugging, 594 OPS. He does have 7 home runs on the season with the Nationals, but he is striking out 25% of the time. He has been a slightly below average outfielder with a -2 outs above average. But if you remember when the Braves got him in 2021, he wasn't hitting great with the Guardians, and then he just hit it with another gear when he made it to the Braves. Now, I think this could be a good fit. He knows the clubhouse, he knows the core, they love him there, he's a fan favorite. I don't see why not. In return, I have the Nationals getting left-hander Hayden Harris, who is not a ranked prospect, but he's been pitching really well at Double-A this season for the Braves. For the Mississippi Braves, he's 1-0 with a .59 ERA, 1.11 WHIP, 27 strikeouts against 5 walks in 15 and a third innings. Yeah, 27 strikeouts in 15 innings. I know the Nationals are a team that's constantly looking for relievers, so since they're probably going to flip guys like Dylan Floro at the deadline, this could be a nice addition for the Nationals. Oh yes, we're playing all the hits. What about Joc Pederson back to the Atlanta Braves? I do the Photoshop joke one more time, but that's how creativity dies. Anyways, Joc Pederson this season for the Diamondbacks has been incredible. He's hitting 303 with a 397 on base, 538 slugging, 935 OPS, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. I could go on. He's only hitting against right-handed pitching because that's what Joc does. He mashes righties. You do not play him against lefties. You just don't try it. He currently has a walk rate of almost 11% against a 25% strikeout rate, which is pretty above average. It's what you'd expect. He's not yet played the field this year, but that's because Arizona has incredible defense in their outfield. Alec Thomas, Corbin Carroll, Jake McCarthy, even Lourdes Gurriel Jr. So there's not really been a need for him to play the outfield. Whereas in Atlanta, he probably will be needed to play the outfield. What do the Braves give up to get Joc Pederson? I haven't given up Darius Vines, who's a number 14 prospect. Now, he pitched in a big league game over the weekend, but he is currently more spending time at AAA. He's 0-1 with a 4.58 ERA, 125 whip, 30 strikeouts, and 35 and a third innings with 10 walks. He's one of these high floor actually, high floor, lower ceiling kind of guys. My apologies. He's gonna give you innings if you send him out there. And the Diamondbacks don't really have a ton of young pitching reinforcements. Their farm system is more position player heavy, so I just think this just makes sense on paper. What about the Braves striking a deal for Michael Conforto? Now you can see Sean Jelly here on the visual as well, but I'll get into that. So Michael Conforto this season has been excellent for the Giants. He's hitting 280 with a 331 on base, 490 slugging, and an OPS at 821. He has 7 home runs and 20 RBIs. He's seeming to be back to pre-shoulder surgery Conforto form. So he's doing pretty well this season if I just going off the numbers. Now he is a left fielder. He can play right field if they need him to, so he's definitely got that defensive versatility. In this trade, I also have the Braves bringing in Sean Jelly, who is currently 1-1 with a 3.26 CRA and a 3.45 expected ERA. So he's pitching pretty well. He's got a whip of 1.14, 25.9% strikeout rate, and a 3.7% walk rate as a reliever. He can give you multiple innings if you need to, so he's definitely going to be a piece that could be helpful for the Braves if some of the guys in their bullpen do not maintain their present form. Now, what do the Giants end up receiving in this trade? The Giants are going to receive 3 players. First being left-handed pitcher Luis De Avila, who is the Braves' number 20 prospect. He's struggling this season in 9 starts at Double-A. He's 0-6 with a 5.53 ERA. Granted, a 1.75 WHIP is not sustainable. Let's be honest. But he only has 35 strikeouts to 25 walks in 42 and a third innings. Now, the Giants have shown that they can develop left-handed pitching prospects, as we see with Kyle Harrison and Carson Whisenhunt, who's in the pipeline. So this could possibly be a good match. They're also going to be acquiring Daysbel Hernandez, who is a right-handed pitcher. He's a reliever. He throws gas. He throws 98 and 99 miles an hour. He's 1-0 with a 2.55 at AAA, despite a 1.64 WHIP, which does include 10 walks in 17 and two-thirds innings. He is striking out 25, though, so he could be another optionable piece for the Giants, who love to shuttle their relievers back and forth. The third piece in this trade is Alan Winans, who is number 25 in the Braves system. He's 3-3 with a 4.5 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, 27 strikeouts to 11 walks in 36 innings at AAA. He did come up last season and has my personal favorite Topps Now MLB The Show 23 card, but besides that, he's shown that he can get big league hitters out, and he has options, so he could definitely be an option for the Giants this season and next season should they need a long reliever, should they burn the minor league auctions of guys like Kai Wei Tang. So this is a pretty complicated trade, but oh boy, it's going to get even more complicated. Get ready for a blockbuster. And here's the big one. The Atlanta Braves would acquire outfielder Lars Nootbaar from the St. Louis Cardinals along with relief pitcher Andrew Kittredge. Now, this is clearly a big deal. We've got some big names here, but let's dive into it. Nootbaar so far this season is hitting 227. He has a 338 on base, 409 slugging, and 747 OPS, which seems low for him, but he did start off the year injured. He has 5 homers, 19 RBIs, and is walking up 14% of the time. That's a lot. That's pretty sizable for a walk rate. Now, Nootbaar is known to play great defense out in right field, and he is exactly what the Atlanta Braves need right now. A bat that can go into left field, that can hit lefties, that can hit righties, and can have good caliber defense. That's what you get here with Nootbaar. With Kittredge, you get a reliever who's been pitching quite well, actually. Despite the 0-2 record, he has a 2.86 ERA and a 3.16 expected ERA, whip of 1.09, 24 strikeouts against 6 walks in 24 games. He is pitching quite well. He has had a lot of, let's call it luck in some of these plays, as you can see in the video. But he would be another solid piece. Now, he is a free agent at the end of the year, unlike Nootbaar, so he would be a rental. And that serves the Braves pretty well because they usually go after bullpen help at the deadline. Now, a trade of this magnitude doesn't get done without the right package. This is the package I have going back to the Cardinals. I have the Cardinals acquiring right-handed pitcher Bryce Elder, outfielder Jesse Franklin IV, who is the number 26 prospect, and right-hander Seth Keller, who is at number 29 in the Braves system. Now, we all know about Bryce Elder. Won a lot of games for the Braves last year. This season, not great. He has a 1-2 record with a 6.46 ERA. The strikeouts are down, the walks are up in 5 games at the big league level, a whip nearing 2.
Zoinkers.
Despite these results this season, Elder showed that he could be a serviceable major league starter last season, going 12-4 with a 3.81 ERA. So there's still some hope for the Cardinals, and the Cardinals have really had a knack for developing guys who don't throw as hard, but they're still able to get the best results out of them, which is why Elder is in this deal. Two other pieces in this deal are outfielder Jesse Franklin V, who is currently their number 26 prospect. Now, I'll begin with the caveat that both of these farm systems are not strong in the outfield. They don't have a lot of top 30 outfield prospects like some teams. Franklin is one of the top ones. He's actually number 26 in their system. My apologies. He has yet to play in 2024. He's coming off an injury. Although last year at AA, he hit 232 with a 315 on base, 419 slugging, 734 OPS. He is a great defensive center fielder and outfielder. He has the range and he has the speed. He doesn't have the arm because he's somewhat undersized for an outfielder, but he looks to be a quality left fielder. Now, he is a few years away from the big leagues, which should be fine for the Cardinals considering they still have Alec Burleson and Dylan Carlson in their outfield, along with Victor Scott, who they called up at the beginning of the season, but he is currently in AAA. So their outfield seems to be set even with trading Nootbaar in this deal. The other piece is right-hander Seth Keller, who is the Braves' number 29 prospect. He is a long ways away. He has an ETA of 2027. He's only thrown 4 innings this year at A-ball, but he pitched pretty well there last season in 38 innings. This year he's 0-0 with a 2.25 ERA, whip of 2. I think pretty average stats. Now, he hasn't pitched a lot this season, so that's probably why he is more of a long-term play. But the Cardinals have a lot of near-term pitching help, so someone like a Seth Keller would be a great addition for this organization further down the line, considering they have an influx of free agents after this season. And there we have it, 6 trades that the Atlanta Braves could make to bolster their outfield depth for the playoffs and perhaps even further. Let me know what you think about these trades in the comments below. I really do hope you enjoyed this video and came away with some possibilities if you're a Braves fan. And with that being said, I'm going to go and get this video edited so you can all see it in time. Thank you all so very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next video.